It's a special day today because our guests are award-winning actresses Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, lifelong friends. It is good to see you this morning.
It's good to see you.
Familiar song we have on. You've ever heard it before?
It's Dolly.
Oh,
Hard to hear.
you know, I did a single with Barry Manilow. I thought it was that.
Oh, shoot.
I thought it must be that old song.
And Sarah Jerem, good morning to you as well.
Thanks for having us.
She's playing the part of Dolly Parton today.
So alike. Right?
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being here today. This is exciting. It's so great to meet you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to meet you.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be back home?
It feels great. I love Detroit. I have to go to the Art Institute and look at the mummies and the secretions on the bandages that wrap the mummies. And I have to go see Bruegel's Wedding Dance.
Excellent.
That was my favorite painting in the museum when I was like 6.
Now, you are a Cass Tech alum, something I've learned.
Wayne State, too.
Yes,
Yeah, Wayne State.
I never graduated, Wayne. I went to New York to be an actress.
How'd that work out for you?
Fair to middling.
Oh, between the two of them, they have won Academy Awards, Emmy Awards, Grammy, SAG, Lifetime Achievement Award, American Film Institute Lifetime Achievement Award, but they aren't done yet. Take a look at this video. Most recently, you've seen them as Grace and Frankie on the hit breakout Netflix show, which has 3 seasons available to watch, and a 4th on the way. You may also know them from 9 to 5, hence the jam of the day.
That's right, 1980 movie. But you guys have been together for so long, and we're just happy to see you back together again.
Yeah, no, I think that's a big factor. I think people do like to see us together, and so we like it too.
So in 9 to 5, you know, we raised a lot of issues that female office workers were confronting. And a lot of the things that were raised have actually happened. More and more companies have childcare and provide flex time and so forth. There's one thing, of course, that progress has not been made on, and that is equitable, fair wages, equal wages.
And that's why you guys are here in Michigan.
That's right. We're helping to work on a ballot measure called One Fair Wage that would be across the board, including for tipped workers, that would raise the minimum wage here in Michigan to $12 and would slowly phase, how do we say it, phase out the dual wage system to bring tipped workers up to what other people get for minimum wage.
Well, do they need to understand, because tip workers they are paid a separate base pay that has nothing to do with
like
the
in
minimum
Michigan,
pay.
their
It's like
base pay is
$60% less than-
$3.38.
Not the $8.90.
Correct.
No. Okay.
Yes, it's
Got
not
it.
a livable wage. And so the big restaurant chains are expecting the public to subsidize them and by through our tips, by hopefully raising the workers' wages to a livable wage, but it's not
always the
something you
case.
can rely on.
Yeah.
You have to put up with a lot of sexual harassment to get the tips, more than in any other industry. And in Michigan, 80% of the tipped workers are women, and they're not young women. What's the average age? Saru?
Mid-30s.
Yeah.
Mid-30s.
Sarah Jerem, the director of the Center.
Food Labor Research Center at UC Berkeley and the Restaurant Opportunity Center, which has an affiliate here in Michigan that's helping with many other organizations to lead this initiative. And I just wanted to say, you know, there are 7 states, including Minnesota, that have already gotten rid of this system, that have higher wages and the same wage for tipped and non-tipped workers. In Minnesota next door, same wage for tipped and non-tipped workers. They actually have higher restaurant sales per capita, higher job growth in the restaurant industry, and higher rates of tipping. So people tip just as well or better in states where a worker gets the full wage and tips are on top of that. So there's just no reason we think Michigan couldn't do the same. And actually a lot of employers agree with us.
Well, and the restaurant lobby is going to say, whoa, hey, hang on a second, you're going to bankrupt us, and if not us, then we're going to have to pass those, that along to the customer in the form of higher prices.
As they cash their big golden parachute check. That's okay.
So how do you combat
I
that?
interrupted you.
Well, it's not true. As Saru said, there are 7 states that don't have the 2-tiered system, where workers in restaurants get a fair minimum wage, and it hasn't put any restaurants out of business. In fact, the restaurant industries in those states are really flourishing, and the tips continue.
Yeah, and the key is we're phasing this in over many years. This is not an overnight, where nobody's asking anybody to go from $3.38 an hour to $12 overnight. This would be phased in over many, many years. slow and gradual increase. Workers would see increases in their paychecks. Employers would be able to, across the board, lift the wages and, deal with it as it comes along. And we've seen employers in other states do the same, and it works out just fine for everybody. Consumers are able to get better food and service. Employers see less turnover. This is an industry that has the highest rates of turnover of any industry in the U.S. And if you pay people better, we find you can cut your turnover in half. And there's job growth because workers are doing better. They're able to spend more, and everybody does better.
Absolutely.
But what people don't realize is that diners and taxpayers are subsidizing the waiters' pay because that's the thing that the employers have to fall back on. They say, well, they're making a lot of money in tips, and they're not.
Yeah.
In fact,
I mean, if they were making so much money, they wouldn't be on food stamps. Most of them are on food stamps at higher than most other workers. That Medicaid.
Well, we think about the characters that like Linda Lavin played on Alice, where she's got the kid at home and early to rise, early to bed kind of thing. It's like you're making below the poverty line, making 19 grand a year. How are you going to, if you're a single mom, how are you raising the kids
exactly
and
right.
childcare?
Send them to college.
That's right. There are
Yeah.
those people who do make a lot of money in tips in great restaurants, and great for them. The majority of workers in the state of Michigan are not there. And how do we know that? We know that because the median wage for tipped workers in the state of Michigan is just around $9, including tips. We know that because they use food stamps and Medicaid at double the rate of the rest of the U.S. workforce. We know that because 80% of these workers are women, 40% are single moms, and they're feeding families on tips.
Jean, go
In
ahead.
the process of getting the 350,000 signatures for the ballot, it allows us to contact so many people and to talk to them, but more importantly, to listen. And this is across the board, across race, gender, party affiliation, no matter who you voted for. This is not that kind of thing. It's not a party thing. Everybody has to come together and say, do we really want to be a state or a society where healthy, hardworking people can't make ends meet? Is that what we want? I don't think so. I don't think anyone does. Is this a state where poor people should have their water cut off and then you can't live without water, so people are getting really, really sick? What kind of a state do we want? What kind of human beings do we want to be? And to create out of this ballot process a people's platform that we can take to public officials and say, this is what the people of Michigan want. And if you won't support it, then I'm sorry, but we don't support you then. Bye.
Well, you guys are obviously very passionate about this cause. Why does it mean so much to you?
well, I mean, I'm a kid that grew up in Detroit. My mother was a nurse's aide. My father was a factory worker. And they literally lived from week to week. I mean, I don't think we ever had any savings or anything like that. And
So it's personal.
What?
It's personal for you.
Yeah, I know what it is to work for a living and not really make a living or eking out a living as best you can. So
You were a waitress.
I was a waitress, sure, many times. I worked, I was a tray girl at Highland Park General Hospital, where I was born years later, or earlier. Later. I wish it had been. And I did a lot. I worked as an usherette at the Avalon Theater, and I was on the candy counter. That's food service. And I worked at Howard Johnson's in New York.
You wore a uniform that was so polyester it could stand by itself.
No, it was cotton, starch.
Starched cotton? It wasn't
Yeah,
poly?
Really heavy starch. The new places got polyester. They had like
It was the fancy stuff, right?
nice, clingy polyester. And no, I had white cotton, and they literally stood by themselves on the floor when we'd unwrap them in the morning. We'd go down the basement, we'd have to get our uniforms out of the laundry. It was inspiring.
Well, it's definitely a great cause that you guys are here, and it's just so important that we're spreading the word. And you know, the cost of living keeps going up and up, and you know, maybe it's time that we start talking about.
Well, we're going to make a better world for the human beings that reside here.
Yes.
Even though there'll be many of them in the future, and I may be gone.
Jane, real quick, I saw you were in Venice. And how do you go from sort of jet setting on Instagram in Venice to coming to a working class town with your friend and your cohort, and just sort of switch gears like that into almost activist mode from like glamour to activism?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's sort of been the story of my life, because unlike my wonderful friend, I grew up with privilege, and there is that part of my life. But I learned from my father and from the Bible, if you don't know a problem exists, then you're ignorant. But if you know a problem exists and you don't do anything about it, then you're guilty. Then you're part of the problem. And so you should always try to do everything you can as a human being to create fairness and equity, no matter. I mean, my dad was Tom Joad in Grapes of Wrath and 12 Angry Men, and this is who guided me as I grew up. So here's what you do when you're because I'm more an activist than a movie star. But yeah, I go to Venice and win some award with Bob Redford. But in the meantime, I'm noticing, why are people different here in Italy? Why do people seem a little bit calmer, a little bit more secure and happy? It's like their edges have been round. Well, they don't have the kind of pressures that we have here. A lot of their businesses have been in a family for generations. They're not forced because of estate taxes to get out of a business. They have great pride in what they do. And they have long vacations. They have a human life. They earn enough money and they can take a lot of time off. Why can't we have that? So what we're talking about is important for people who aren't earning a wage, but it's a much more systemic problem. We have a system that's not working. It's working for some people, but it's not working for most people. And if it's not working my attitude is, if it's not working for the gal in Flint, it's not working for me either. Everybody has to feel safe and secure.
Shout out to Flint.
Yes.
Yeah.